Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to autoX and welcome to beautiful Mysuru. You find me in front of the Lalit Mahal Palace, built in 1921 by the Maharaja of Mysuru for the Governor General of India. And with that, let me introduce you to the new Yezdi Roadster. Now, Yezdi itself had its beginnings around this compound, and today our plan is to hop on, ride this motorcycle all the way to Coorg, and with that, I'll be bringing you a thorough ride review, so stay tuned. Alright, now when we talk about styling, from our trip when we started in Mysore all the way to Coorg, this demanded attention and it got the attention. Yes, a part of it was from the exhaust being so loud, which we'll talk about later, but overall, it looks like a big motorcycle. Even the chunky 100 section tires, the chunky 150 section rear tires, 18-inch wheels, 17-inch wheels, all of it, I think, goes into the making of a motorcycle that definitely grabs attention. Even if you talk about the color combinations, now when it was launched, I really liked the shadow black, but this one, the shark fin blue with the black accents all over, I think I'm really getting fond of it. Now, when we talk about what the company was thinking when they designed the Yezdi Roadster, during storyboarding, they put up words like naughty, brat, nice. So what they envisioned was a brat who is also a nice guy. And I think I do agree with it. It has its own unique touches that help it stand out. Has Yezdi succeeded in aiming for the market which it was trying to capture? Basically, the cool guy or girl in college or office? I definitely think so. Those are the ones which will definitely be attracted to it. And speaking about approachability, if you talk about ergonomics as well, I think it is a big motorcycle, but even for shorter riders, it will not be a problem. The seat height is at 795 mm. Now, I'm 5'6", and as you guys can see, I can touch the ground quite easily with both my feet. And then over that, you also get a ground clearance of 171 millimeters, and that definitely gives it some sort of versatility if you want to take it to bad patches of road, wherever you want to take it for the weekend getaways. I think it can handle it easily. Now, this motorcycle is available with 50 customizable options. You can spec anything from a touring windscreen to a touring handlebar, a different seat, a pillion seat, different types of pillion seats. And what that ensures is that you have a unique motorcycle and not something which is generic out of the showroom. And then even talking about features. Now, this motorcycle definitely aims at someone who wants a premium product. And this, we've talked about the styling, and the quality of components is not bad either, but I think features is what definitely stand out. You get a digital screen, you get turn-by-turn navigation, you get riding modes, you get LED lights all around, double channel ABS and all that jazz. Now, the only problem with this digital instrument cluster is that while it has the features and I think it is a good looking unit, the readability is definitely a problem, especially in harsh sunlight. Even if it's cloudy outside, it does make it easier to read, but you have to lean in a little, and that does get dangerous if you're on the highways at higher speeds or in the city maneuvering through tight traffic. So, be it in terms of styling, features or ergonomics, I think the Yezdi Roadster will not intimidate you, but it definitely is approachable and will appeal to someone who wants a premium product on a slight budget. However, if I had to nitpick one thing about the styling, it will definitely be this rear fender. Now, you guys can see it from the side profile, and here it does look proportionate. But when I step to the back, that is when you see the massive wheel gap between the fender and the rear tire. That kind of gets to me. I think if they had positioned this a little lower, it would have definitely given it that mean bobber look. Now, of course, this is a road trip. We've reached Coorg. Now, I'm betting you want to know about performance. So let's talk about that. Now, if you talk about performance, what you get is a 334cc liquid-cooled engine which makes 28.8 bhp, 29.6 Nm of peak torque. When I first experienced this engine, that was in the Yezdi Adventure, and that should speak volumes about how versatile it is. There are definitely things which I liked about it. First is the fact that it's tractable, be it in the city or on the highway. Today we did close to about 100 kilometers, and the travel between Mysore and Coorg, well, that involved us getting out of Mysore, tight city roads. Then we got onto big 3-lane highways, and eventually we ended up with single-lane highways. All throughout, it had enough power in reserve for as many overtakes as you like. It chugged along easily, doing constant RPMs whenever you wished. So you can use it in the daily grind, and you can also use it in the weekend getaways. Now, where this engine really feels strong is the mid-range RPM. That is where power comes in strong and fast. I'm talking post 4000 RPM. Now, it does have a small power band which you get the most amount of fun power, if I can call it that. And that's where I always like to be. Now, but the great thing is that you do get an assist and slipper clutch. So that should help you with easy upshifts and downshifts no matter what situation you put it in. Now, while the engine is definitely smooth and tractable at certain RPMs at a certain speed, one thing, when you do slow down, you'll notice that there are vibrations which do creep in, especially with the handlebars and on the pegs. And once you're out on the highways, if you are trying to gain speed, well, you'll notice that the vibrations also creep in to the mirror, making it difficult to see what's coming behind you. Now, what Yezdi has done to these review units is the fact that they have taken out the baffles. Yes, this does get a company fitted exhaust which you can take out the baffle, and it helps it get a little more throaty. Let me show you how it sounds. So as you guys can hear, it's quite throaty. It has the pops and bangs, exactly what someone like me would definitely like. But this has created a problem because the exhaust is now freer flowing, and the fact that Yezdi hasn't tuned this engine. There was a bit of fueling irregularities when you try to keep it at a constant throttle or when you're really trying to get on it. Now, this is something I have to warn you guys about. If you are going to take out the baffle, just be prepared that this will cause some sort of fueling issues when you're trying to ride it fast. It does sputter, it does lose power for a brief moment, and then it starts going. Now, this, as I said, does get ride modes. You get a city mode and you get a power mode. City mode caps off the engine RPM and the top speed as well. That is where I really felt the fueling issues start to creep up. When you're in power mode and when you're actually getting on it completely, you're blasting through the rolling hills of Karnataka. That's when the air-fuel ratio wasn't a problem. But if you're trying to ride it subtly without the baffles, might cause some problems. But it definitely made up for it in the ride and handling. So there's no two ways about it. This is a fun motorcycle. It's agile, it's light, and it's easy to handle. Like I told you, we did go through a varied mix of conditions and terrains, and nowhere did I feel it was out of its depth. In the city, well, even if in tightly packed roads, it had enough power to get ahead of traffic, and it was light enough to maneuver through it. Even out on the highway, it felt absolutely planted and stable. Now, I do have to say that you get a wheelbase of 1440 millimeters, and with that, Yezdi has increased the rake angle by 0.5 degrees. And that definitely has helped this motorcycle be a jack of all trades. Yes, it's not the best in the city. Yes, it's not best in the highway, but I think it gets through all of it quite easily. Yes, it does get chunky tires, 100 section in the front, 150 at the back, and that not only helps with traction, but also stability and maneuverability. And then if you talk about ride and comfort, well, again, all the bad patches of road, really big potholes, smooth tarmac patches in the city or out on the highway, again, there was no complaints from my side. I think it takes in bad patches of road quite easily, and it adapts to smooth tarmac quite easily as well. Overall, the ride handling and comfort is definitely the standout aspect of its performance. So, ladies and gentlemen, what have we learned about the new Yezdi Roadster? Well, it is a fun and good-looking motorcycle, and all the way from our ride from Mysuru all the way to Coorg, about 100 odd kilometers, this has been a versatile motorcycle. Good for tightly packed city roads and even for your highway rides. Now, as you guys can see, we're in one of the coffee plantations in Coorg, and it just fits in with the vibe. Work hard on the weekdays and play hard on the weekends. Yes, it does have its share of niggles, mainly in form of vibrations and the fit and finish, but those are something that you can definitely get over. If you want a Yezdi and you want one for different conditions, different terrains, this one can definitely be the right pick. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think about the new Yezdi Roadster? Have I convinced you at least to take a test ride? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys for watching.